Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. We are here to break down what roommate groups are going to look like during room selection for the fall spring term 23-24. So I'm joined by my colleague Dave Kloiber in Housing Assignments team, and we are going to show you what it's going to be like for roommate groups that are going into room selection. We're doing things a little bit different this year. So I'm going to pass it over to Dave to show us what the process is going to look like.
All right. Thank you very much, Julia, for that wonderful introduction. And so we're going to be talking about how how room selection works, especially with using roommate groups. And so when you go in to assign yourself to a room, you're going to be coming to, as long as you are ready for assignment, you're going to come to this page. And so this page breaks out room selection by special population. If you're in either the Honors LLC, that means you've been admitted to the Honors LLC, Student Support SSS or Student Support Services, and the ACE program. They have rooms that are set aside for them, but they can participate in room selection for the fall and spring. And so they would be able to select just from those rooms. Or if you're in the Honors or ACE program, you also have the opportunity to select a general room selection bed, which means beds outside of those reserved spaces. And so you would follow a very similar but different schedule. And so I'm highlighting the schedule here, and we have continuing selection and new student selection right here. And so I just want to highlight some of the information. So for continuing students, you have until February 2nd at 8 a.m. in order to create your roommate groups. We came up with a deadline to create those groups because we want to be able to give you a start and end time or a start time for your selection by group. And we're doing the groups this year in order to provide people an opportunity to live together as a group that they formed, because we found last year that a number of people were not able to do so when they went through room selection. And so beginning on February 6th at 10 a.m., our continuing students will have the opportunity to select a room as long as they are in a roommate group of 3, 4, or 5 people. The limit's 5 because that is the largest unit. So an apartment on campus in Kosov Hall can hold up, some of them can hold up to 5 people. And so a roommate group of 5 people would be me and 4 of my friends. Or I could have me and 3 of my friends. That would be a group of 4, and so on and so forth. So the first group to go would be the people with a 3, a 4, or a 5-person group. Now, what's really important is all the people in your group need to be ready for assignment. And that means they completed all the steps, applied for housing, paid their application fee. They need to do those 2 items just to be able to join a group. And then for our new students, you need to also submit your orientation reservation. And those will be available. You'll be able to register as of February 1st. Now, so that'll be available from the 6th to the 9th for 3, 4, or 5 people. And then on the 7th, we'll also allow the ability for 2 people to, a group of 2 people to select a room. Now, what's really important here is that you must fill all the rooms in the apartment in order to, apartment, suite, or room, in order to participate in room selection as a group for these 2 stages of the process. Now, when we get to the general selection process for each group, whether it's continuing students or new students, you'll still be able to use your roommate group. However, you won't have that restriction of must fill, and I'll explain what that means with the next slide. And so remember that your group needs to be formed by February 2nd at 8 a.m. for continuing students, and for our new students by February 9th at 8 a.m. What's important to note also is that a continuing student group can include a new student, and a new student group can include a continuing student. However, we break it out by those who have a continuing student selecting the room can pull in a new student, but that new student in that group would not be able to go. And so you'll understand that when you see your the start time that you have for your selection. So I've already got pulled up another screen, which is what room selection will look like. So screen demo. is going to participate in room selection. Wonderful little message there. And so we're selecting for fall and spring. And now I've already got my roommate group set up, and I have my best friends, Screen Test and Fake Guy. They're going to be living with me for the fall and spring of next year. And so I've made sure they're there. Now, if I know I have members of my group and they don't show up here, that means they haven't completed all the necessary steps. And so this is where I have to make a decision. Do I want to proceed or not? Or do I want to get out of the selection, call up my friend and say, hey, what didn't you do? Got to get this done now so I can select a room for all of us. Or you can basically say, well, you weren't ready, so I'm going to continue without you. That's a decision each of you are going to have to make. So I'm going to continue. Here's a whole page of suggestions that we ask you to look at. I encourage everybody to read through them, but I know them, so I'm going to continue. And so here we go. We're in the nitty-gritty of it all. So I'm going to start by looking for a suite. Maybe I want a suite, and so I want to live in Cypress B, and I really like Cypress B 4th floor. And so here I am in Cypress B. I'm going to try and pull over this. Whoops, I went down too far. So here I see, I have a room with 4 beds here, room with 3 beds here, 4 beds here, and 4 beds here. You know what? I like to be in the corner, so I'm going to try this one. And I'm going to assign myself to here in the A room and with Screen Test, and I want Fake Guy to live here. So this works for me. I'm going to continue. Wait, what happened? It says I must fill all spaces within the room. Okay, so that's what we mean by you need to fill all the rooms. So this room is full, but this room is not. And so since this room isn't full, I'm going to have to select a different room. Now, if you remember back at the chart that we had that I had pulled up, I did see a suite here that had only 3 beds in it. I could go into here. There are only 3 beds available. Why that 4th bed isn't there, I don't know. But I happen to know that this is the room with only 1 bed that showed on the chart. But if I click on here, it's a double bedroom. So somebody else is living there. By the way, this is for demonstration purpose only, so this may not be the rate for the fall and spring of next year. More information on rates will be released by housing within the next few weeks.
And Dave, I'm just going to jump in here for clarification. When you see 1 bed in a room, and like you just said, it says double there, that does not mean that it's a double room that has turned into a single room for some lucky student. There is someone else that's going to be in that room. It's just that bed is held offline for whatever reason at this point. So just wanted to clarify, you should not be expecting to be a single in that room.
Yeah, and definitely you can always refer to one of the links here to double check what kind of room it is. Cypress double, that means there's 2 people in it. And so now I could actually go in, oops, can't assign myself twice, assign everybody, click submit or continue. And there I go. It worked. I can see where I'm assigned. I can see where my roommates are assigned. And then I can just click saying, yes, we understand the terms and conditions. And I could click submit. But you know what? I think I've changed my mind. I don't like that, even though it did work for me. I'm going to go back. I'm going to select a different room because, my friend just called me and said, I really wanted to be in an apartment. So I'm going to go look at Holly. Looks like there's some rooms in Holly. I like Holly A. It's right by Holly M. That's great. I'm going to look at this floor. And okay, so there's an apartment here. It's got 4 beds available in it. Another 4 beds. This one has 3 beds. And this one has 4 beds. But you know what? I don't want to live here. I want to live. I like this one. I like the fact that it's on the north side, or it's on the road and it's top floor. I'm gonna select this apartment. Now I know earlier we talked about the fact that I couldn't pick a room with a unit, or in that case it was a suite with 4 beds that were available. but I'm going to try it here. And I know that it's going to work because the room is full, the room is full, and the room is full. So I'm going to go down here and say continue. I know I left that one bed empty, but it did work because what I've done is I filled 3 rooms completely, and so it's going to let me do that. And so if you're a group of 2, you could select 2 of those rooms, but if I was back in the suites, I'd only be able to pick one of the rooms and fill both beds in the room. And I'm hoping that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, I think that the visual is definitely helpful, Dave. Also, we hosted a live video last week that really dove into the complexities of roommate groups and answered some frequently asked questions that we didn't really go over today. We just wanted to jump on a video and show you all what we mean when we mean the roommate group must fill the rooms within a unit. So that is why we wanted to share the screen today and do this little demo. But we have a lot of resources on our website and our YouTube channel that really dives into room selection and the roommate group process. So you can definitely learn more on our website. We'll also include some links in the description of this video. So Dave, if there's nothing else to show, I think that we'll wrap today's video. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time.
Anytime. And I think we're scheduled to do another live Q&A, are we not?
We are. So we have a live Q&A scheduled for Wednesday, February 1st at 6 p.m. So if you are watching this video before then, we would love to invite you to join us for that live video. If you are watching it after then, go check on our YouTube channel because we will have that video posted, and it's really going to go into the description of all of the different complexities of room selection itself. So just not just roommate groups. If you're planning on selecting a room as a single person, then you'll definitely want to check out that video as well. So Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.